Interview presented by Canaceutics Medical Dispensary, proudly serving New Mexico cannabis patients with trustworthy all-natural medicine since 2010.
Water or anything?
What up, guys? What's up?
Thanks, sir. We're with UFC Bantamweight Ricky Simon, owner of the best mullet in the game, sir.
Let's go. Let's go. Look at this thing. It's back. It's back. My last fight, the length wasn't quite there, so I'm happy where it's at right now. I can't wait to fight again to let the flow go.
What led to wanting to go so hard on the mullet?
What was that?
What led to wanting to go in so hard on the mullet?
When I first decided to grow it out, I had one of my coaches, Ian Loveland, was rocking one. Thank you. And he decided to cut it off, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna let it live through. And there's been a lot of good like mullets in the UFC throughout the time. Even like I think right before I come out, Chiesa had a mullet. Michael Chiesa had a mullet. So I don't know, just something different for the weight class. I don't know, I like it.
Is it also something, just to play with, something to distract you from always thinking about the fight?
It's fun. It's fun. You know what? It does get in the. It definitely doesn't distract me. It gets in the way more than anything. Having to wake up, my hair's crazy. A mullet does not look good in the morning. And then training, I get pinned to the mat by my hair. Wrestling my entire life, I would just shave my head. I never cared about my hair, but it's extra maintenance. But it's worth it. Extra mullet maintenance.
Any distraction when you're striking with the hair flowing, getting in the eyes?
I would say no, but my coaches would probably argue with me on that one. They say I might mess with it too much, or even when I get hit, they say it moves a little bit more, so it can make like a shot look even like more devastating than it might be.
Have you looked back at some of your fights and even noticed that you're like, man, I slipped that punch, but it kind of just looks like with the hair flowing that you might have got connected on?
Yeah, actually, after I think of the Rob Font fight, my coaches asked me to cut the mullet because they thought a lot of the head movement and the reactions and a lot of his jabs too, but made the hair kind of flip around a little bit. So that's why I cut it off at one point.
So has that almost led you to maybe I'll rock it most of the fight week, shave it off the night before?
No. If I grow it out for the fight and everything, I want to rock it for the fight. There's nothing better. When I fought in Australia, I had the entire arena chanting mullet, so that was pretty cool.
Okay, like what is that? How do you take that in when you're hearing it? Like that's got to be a double take moment.
Well, I was definitely doing it as a joke too, so I was like gonna cut it off, and then everyone's yelling mullet, and I became known for it. So I was like, I might keep it, bring it back here and there.
And known for it, you're known as a big-time UFC fighter. You've got years under your belt now. Could you have envisioned the success that you had when you first started and the journey going as it has?
No, I couldn't. It was so tough for me to like say that I would make it to this point, for the longest time. But now I enjoy the journey, and I've been doing this since I was a teenager. I'm 30 years old now, so it's just all part of the journey, all part of the game. I love it.
Was there a moment when it became real to you that you had the skills to reach the level that you want to, or was it a whirlwind where it just kind of happened and you were there?
I think I knew from an early age, because I trained with some like UFC fighters in my weight class, and I traveled a lot to a few different camps. So I knew like early on I had a pretty successful career, and I knew I could definitely compete, but it's to continue to compete over the years. And like for me, I think the switch happened when like I made it to maybe like my third UFC contract or something like that. Then I was like, oh, it's not. No, I'm not just like a one and done. I'm like, I'm sticking around. I'm a cockroach. You can't get rid of me.
Did you specifically look with your style to weaponize your cardio to be able to push that pace, or was it this is just what I do?
Well, at first it was just what I did is like I would get right in people's faces, and then I realized I had good cardio and it would wear on people, so I definitely started using that as a threat too. Yeah. No better feeling than breaking someone, getting them tired,
How much did wrestling just set the foundation for all of your work ethic?
Oh, I mean, besides seeing my dad work grow up, it's my probably the number one reason I have the work ethic I have. The hardest thing I've ever done still is wrestling. So I say between wrestling and just seeing my dad's work ethic, that's what got me to the point where I'm at right now.
Work ethic is great. There's also influences. Who have you felt have been some of those major influences on your career?
As fighters fighters?
Oh yeah, fighters, coaches, just that influence that motivated you or gave you some great advice.
My biggest influence have probably been like my family. They've been like we've been like UFC fans since I was a little kid. I grew up. My dad getting on the VHS tapes. You know, it's crazy because we'd watch Ultimate Fighter all the time together growing up. Event would be put on, like we'd do pay-per-view at the house with all the family and everything. So they're definitely my big inspiration for me. But and then a lot of each coach I had, a wrestling coach that was a big inspiration to me. My coaches now, like my training partners, like everyone grinding in this sport, willing to bleed. Is like, man, let's go get it. I love the sport. I love what it represents, and I love being a part of it.
We're at UFC X, the Fan Expo. I've seen Don Fry, the Nogueiras, guys that I look at as legends. You've been in the sport for a while now, but has there been somebody that you've been in that awe moment in front of?
Yeah, definitely when I fought on the same card as Anderson Silva, that was kind of crazy to me. That I'm like, I grew up watching him. He's like one of my favorite fighters. You know, Anderson Silva's a legend. So being on the same card of him, I don't know. I feel like I don't really get like starstruck like that, especially with fighters. I'm around fighters all the time, but it's cool to see Anderson Silva.
And having been a fan and having watched the sport evolve and having been a wrestler for so long, what does it mean to you to like be a part of it now, to go from fan to athlete, to actually those little kid dreams?
Yeah, it's been awesome to see like the sport grow and everything, and it's cool to see like a lot of these old school veterans like who set the foundation for us, and I think it's only going to keep growing. So.
We saw you in action in April. When are you looking to get back in there?
By the end of summer, I'm hoping like end of August, September. I'm hoping something opens up soon for me.
Last fight didn't go your way. Do you feel there's a little bit of tweaks you got to do, or is there something that you see that you want to adjust going to the next fight?
I'm always trying to get better. Like that's never the problem with me. But you know, sometimes every single time you learn from a loss, and that's what it takes sometimes. So I've already been in the gym. I've already gotten better, and I can't. This is what I do. I can't wait to get back out there.
And last thing for me, I was talking to Jonathan Martinez a little earlier and said, you got to shout it out for the bantamweights. This is the best division in MMA.
Yeah, man, Martinez is looking good lately, and I agree. 100% best division in MMA. I think the most talent, most athletes. I think it's the best division, especially right now.
And you think there's also just something about 135 pounds where you guys are fast, you're technical, but still powerful?
Yeah, you got to be good everywhere. Yeah, you can't be lacking nowhere.
Ricky Simon, it was an honor to get to talk to you, sir.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you.